guys, and welcome to Boho Jewel on YouTube. So today I wanted to share a super easy craft with you. This is something that's been popular for a while, but with the holidays coming up, they make super fun, easy gifts, especially if you like to do things handmade and you like to gift things handmade. And if you're on a tight budget, these are really nice gifts to give to people in your life. So they're little drink coasters. And they're really easy to make. You can get super creative with them and come up with lots of different designs. I actually made these a couple of years ago when the trend started, and I was selling a lot of them, and then I just kind of stopped. But anyway, so like you see with this one, where I've taken one piece of scrapbook paper and just used those elements, so they could be used as individual coasters, but you could also take this and put like a vase on top of it or use it as a centerpiece for something. So you can get kind of creative with them or just make really fun individual ones. So all you really need is a tile, and you can get these at a hardware store. They're just a few cents. I think they're maybe like 50 cents a piece if I remember right. Get yourself some scrapbook paper, and then get yourself either some cork for the backing or a piece of felt. So the cork, you can buy it in smaller strips, like squares, or you can buy a roll of it if you're going to make a whole bunch of these, or you can even just get a piece of felt. But this is basically just to kind of protect your table and your countertops from being scratched up by the back of the coasters, and it's just a nice finishing touch. So these tiles, the general square tiles, are about 4 1/4 inches by 4 1/4 inches. So just a really easy way to do this is to take your paper and cut it to 4 by 4. So then it just fits on there really nicely, and you have a little wiggle room to work with. So I always use scrapbook papers. They're nice and sturdy. You don't have to worry about anything running or bleeding, and they're easy to work with. This one's a little bit of a heavier weight, but I've used the lighter ones as well. And then you just take some Modpdge. Love some Modpdge. It's a water-based sealer. It glues things together, but it also kind of seals them up. So I have my Modpdge designated brush, and I use this for like Mod Podge, for gesso, for whatever, and just dip a little bit in the Modpdge. And you don't need a whole lot, especially for this first initial step. You just want to get a little bit on there. You don't have to be super, super tidy. And then you take your piece of paper, center it as much as possible. And when you do that, you'll feel where it starts to stick pretty quickly. And then you just take some more Modpdge and dip it in. And now this is the part, because the Modpdge dries fairly quickly, you might want to give it a little bit of a stir. You might want to put a little extra on there, kind of like, you know, a little extra, because you don't want streakiness to come through, so you don't want to overwork it either. I know it looks scary because it's super white at first, but it does dry clear. And so I just like to take a good little swoop in one direction, swoop, professional terms, and then I go down the other direction and just put a good amount on there, because it will dry clear. But if you get a nice thick coat on there, you're less likely to have a bunch of streaking. And just real gently, you don't want to push the brush down, just real gently. So the great thing about Modpdge is that it is water-based, so when you're ready to clean your brush, you just swirl it in some water. Sounds like I was going to sing a song, didn't it? Swirl it in some water, take the brush back out. Mother of a young child, what are you going to do? And then I usually keep just a towel handy for these kind of things, just an old towel, and you just want to make sure that you dry it out really good. Once you're completely finished, take some soap and water, wash it out. Now this one I'm going to let dry and sit for a minute, but you can add additional layers to it and get it kind of built up and shiny. And once the Modpdge dries, you know, you get this nice clear finished coat, and you can put your drinks on top. Now, what I would say about this, if you're using just Modpdge, it's really only good for cold drinks. If you put a hot drink on there, because it's water-based, it's going to stick, pick up the whole coaster. You could end up breaking your coasters. And as far as the backs, the same thing. I just cut a 4 by 4 square of cork, and then I use my Loctite glue, my favorite glue ever. I dab it a little on the edges, and then I put the cork right on top center, just like I did the paper. Now the fun thing with this whole technique is that you can actually get creative and come up with some other little gift ideas. I started making these little signs, which are a lot of fun because you can buy the tiles in different shapes and sizes. So I just layered the papers up. You know, I cut different papers and layered them up, and then put the Mod Podge on there. Just with every layer, let it dry a little, and then add your next layer of paper, let the Mod Podge dry, and so on. This one, I even spray painted the tile first before I put the papers on there. Same thing with this one. And then what you can do is buy these little sawtooth hangers, and once again, my very favorite glue in the whole wide world, Loctite super glue. Put a couple of drips on the back and it will seal it. I mean, it stays. Tested and true. And then you've got yourself a nice little wall plaque. So I hope this gave you guys some fun gift ideas. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and let me know if you try these and if you gift them this holiday season. Thanks for watching, you guys. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll be sharing some other crafty ideas and business tips as well. Have a great day.